Hey guys, welcome back to Clash with Barndo. Today you'll see I'm in Above and Beyond with Barndo 80. I'm going to be doing a war recap on our latest organised war at Above and Beyond, and that was versus Mariana Trench, the feeder clan to War Whales. So you can see there a 3-point win to Above and Beyond. Interesting war for a lot of statistics and things like that. So we have a look. Percentage was a few percentage extra as well, just under the 4% extra. So 1 star on Barndo 80. The rest of the Town Hall 10s and Dave was 2-starred, but it took 4 attacks to get Dave down by one of their Town Hall 11s. The rest of the 10s, bar Albert, were all 2-starred. So just the one Town Hall 10 3-star, and that was a hit down from Sam I Am. Yeah, really good war. It did take 4 hit downs for the Mariana Trench to get the Town Hall 9s, but it also took 4 hit downs from Above and Beyond. And we have a look at the attacks. There was, I think it was 7 people with 6-packs. I took a 6-pack hitting down on the Town Hall 10s. One of those was a fresh hit though, so I will show that. That was a fun attack. Albert had a 6-pack in his Town Hall 10, but that was hitting Town Hall 9s. He did also have a 6-pack in his Town Hall 9, along with 4 others being Tank, Armadillo, AJD, and It's. The Mariana Trench guys, I think they did have one of their Town Hall 10s, took a 6-pack, that was hitting down as well, and then 4 Town Hall 9s had 6-packs. So, I mean, they did bring it. It was a really interesting war where Above and Beyond had... it was, how many did they have? 10 first hit 3-stars, whereas Mariana Trench only had the 8. And what was interesting out of that was Above and Beyond in the first probably 3 hours of the war, they had 7 of their first 8 attacks were all 3-stars. One of them disconnected. It didn't look like it was going to be a 3-star anyway, but that was a really early on. They had so many first hit 3-stars, but then struggled to get versus them. So just from doing some of the statistics and writing them down afterwards, for the Above and Beyond, there was, I think, 27 attacks on 7 bases at Town Hall 9, and of those, there was 3 hit downs, and then for Mariana Trench, they took 26 attacks on 5 of our Town Hall 9s. So, yeah, it was interesting to see that. Town Hall 9 still a struggle, still a very real struggle, and yeah, we need to make sure we're not falling into a trap. And I know that we've done it at Above and Beyond, where of our Town Hall 9 3-star attacks, I'll just turn that volume down, of our attacks, only one of those actual successful Town Hall 9 attacks was anything away from Valks. So we're getting very reliant on Valks as a Town Hall 9 level, and I think that it means that opponents can build bases around that concept. This is, you'll see, this was a attack versus number 3. This was a re-hit, so I'll take that off. Sorry, I did mean to show the attack versus number 5. The attack versus number 5, this was a fresh hit. I mean, this is Town Hall 11 hitting down to Town Hall 10. You do not really get much different in unit-wise. It's just that additional warden and where you use it. So you see, I've gone on with a very common army to what I would use normally. I've used a couple of minions at the start to herd. I've earthquaked out that centre, and that's going to take a lot of hit points off that Inferno, Town Hall, and Clan Castle. Now, I was only running a few wall breakers, so I needed to make sure I got them in as best I could. And you see that Rage going in midfield there. That Warden's Eternal Tome was absolutely perfectly timed. I didn't actually see while it was live what the Clan Castle was, but, you know, after you watch it, you sort of go, wow, that was very lucky. I got the Golem split involved in that time as well. So, wasn't a lot left at the end. I had a few tail hogs. I've tried to time my Queen's ability to make sure I get that Inferno out and those remaining healers sit on my Queen, and just a few clean-up troops. So, yeah, good to get the fresh 3. We were very low on attacks at that stage, needing those 4 hit downs, and definitely we didn't end up getting a 2-star, I should say, on their number 1 as well. So we were definitely running out of attacks. You see WKD sitting on the 1-star there. So we'll have a look next. Dave was a re-hit on number 7. We'll have a next look at Confederate, and this was his fresh attack versus their number 8. Fed does his a little bit differently. He's got a Queen Walk there. and a go-var-ho to tail it. So it's good to see the variations on these attacks. It's always good to analyse and see how the war plays out afterwards. And I mean, Fed spent a little bit of time in War Wales and has helped the guys at Mariana Trench. So it's interesting to see the community and how it works out there. Very lucky with those healers. He blew his queen ability to make sure he got that dragon down and kept his healers up. If he didn't do it, then he definitely would have struggled. So needed to get his queen inside there, which he did. That was to get that air defence down, and he only left himself 2 healers. But those Valks, where he's thrown them in, have absolutely just saved his arsehole. So you see the 2 healers are left. They're going to run inside that rage, heal that queen up. Love the use of the hogs there. It was a good time on that and the heal. He's held onto his king. He wasn't entirely sure where to use the king. And he did actually stay on Discord for this, so it was good. You know, it's good to see the guys thinking and talking. And people are still pressured in wars. They still feel that it's a bit of a pressure and mistakes are made. And you can see in farm wars you wouldn't do these kinds of mistakes. But it's good to be able to get in there and have a chat and then to have a second set of eyes when you're doing these raids. And it just adds a different element of fun to the actual attacks. So well done, Fed. He did hit number 3 and didn't quite get there on that. And that was the re-hit I did with Bando 80. So I'm going to show next some of the Town Hall 9 hits. And they're all first hit 3 stars. And it's very hard to pick out, obviously, the best attacks to show when everything bar 1 has got Valks in it. So I've gone first with Albert's hit on their number 11. Albert had a 6-pack war, so definitely one of the strong 9s to be looking at and how he's analysed the base. And it's almost a bit of a mass Valk attack, 4 heals. But there's a trick to doing the mass Valks. I do them slightly different at Town Hall 9 myself, but here a lot of the guys use these 4 heals, and it's interesting to look at your heals. You've got to make sure you're having a look at your pathing on your Valks. You've got to make sure you consider things like Clan Castle with the golems and enemy Valks and things like that. So you see that split and then timed into a second heal there to make sure those Valks got up. So you've seen now old Jimmy Bob, he's run down the bottom by himself, but he's still got his ability. That third heal in midfield on those Valks there, that gets a good chunk of those. That's where his main ones are at the moment. And what I like about this attack and strategy is it gives you those heals available if you want to use them for your hogs. So well-timed queen ability up the top. Jimmy Bob's still going around the right-hand side there. He's taking a bit of pressure off that hog in the midfield. And then the Valks with so many hit points, they're still able to tank and get through those walls at the same time. And you see the big 3-star. So well done, Albert. Great war overall. We'll have a look now at number 14. And this was AJD. Now, I think I said he had a 6-star war. Yes, he did. 6 stars. And he's gone in with a go-var-ho. And you see the one personal golem. He's got 6 of his own Valks, along with Clan Castle Valks, and a big contingent of hogs. Now, what's interesting, you see now one expo in the midfield there on ground, 1 expo on air. You're starting to see a conversion of a lot more Town Hall 9s and 10s at organised wars going to ground expos, because a lot of people are reliant on these Valk attacks. So, I mean, I love watching statistics and seeing the way games path along and the changes and small differences from one war to another. And yeah, it's interesting that we're not making complete advantage of these bases changing. So if you see 1 or even 2 expos on ground, maybe we should be thinking about different styled attacks. But a great attack here from AJD. Lots of hogs left. He's done well with his clean-up troops down the bottom there opposite the hogs. A good split on those hogs at the end there. But perfect execution. Town Hall is the last building to go down. The big 3. So where am I looking at next? I'm going to go to 15, and this is its. And you see these 2 expos on ground, like I was saying. 2 expos on ground. The 2 blowers are both facing away from the queen. I mean, he has got the 3 stars, but we're also seeing a lot of bases where we're hitting 4 or 5 times in at Town Hall 9, and we just shouldn't be doing it. So, for me, watching this attack, I'm very interested to see why we didn't have air versus it, whether it would be a lava loon or something like that. Because if you look at this attack, I don't know what's in his clan castle, but Witch, Valk, Loon, you could have exposed that queen to a couple of heroes and gotten her down quite easily. But yeah, it's good. He's gone in there with the mass Valks, 4 heals. You see that first heal to make sure he went through the clan castle troops that came out. The second heal there to get old Jimmy Bob and the Valks into that enemy queen. And what I liked about this was you see his own queen in midfield there, but there's nothing pressuring her. There's nothing that's giving her any grief. So he's definitely picked the right way to go through this. And now we're going to take time with the Valks running around the outside and all that kind of stuff. So there's so many varieties with this, how Valks run. You've just got to be smart about the way you path your heals. And he's done the heals here very, very well. Queen's still got her ability. He uses that now because she's just going to be sitting out the back doing nothing. Instead, he wants to make sure he gets that queen in play. So that's one of myself's accounts. We'll have a look now at number 17. And this was a first hit, of course. And we see the queen walk with a Govaho. Out of all of the Town Hall 9 3-stars, I think there was only 5 of them involved a queen walk, and I still rate queen walks myself as one of the better attacks in the army. You're getting full use out of your queen. She's not dying, and this is still a very solid and strong attack at Town Hall 9. So I think it's actually going to be a queen charge with those wall breakers going in there. Good hurting on the sides to get his queen. And she will redirect back into the middle there. So she's going to get the king. She's going to be pushing deep to get that clan castle. See the rage come out for the king. So probably one little mistake there. He could have used a poison on that king and not needed to use that rage at all. This is tank. No hogs to lure the CC. So just waiting for that to come to the queen. And you see he started his second phase. And this is probably the only other second part that I noticed. There was only the Expo shooting at the queen. With the poison down, I think he probably would have been able to have got that pecker down, hitting the queen once. But very hard to do if you're not concentrating 100% on your queen. So with getting that king's contingent out and starting his kill squad, he definitely just made sure that the pecker didn't kill his queen. And that was probably a smart play at that time. So you see the kill squad going up top there, detouring around, perfect jump. That's meant the kill squad stayed completely away from the queen. So he's going to get use out of both those groups. A good heal there. The queen, she's firing at the golem. Old Jimmy Bob and the Valks, they're up top there. They've been sort of lost to the side trash. But then Tank's queen comes in there, mops up the enemy queen. Lots of Valks left, lots of hogs left. Good attack, Tank. And we did have just the 1 3-star that wasn't involving Valks, so let's celebrate that. We'll have a look. Sub-Zero, he also had, I think, oh no, he didn't, just the 3 stars for him. Now, what was interesting with this attack was you see he tried to pitch off his lightnings to get those blowers at the same time, and you see there's a lot of hit points left on that one there, so he's picked and chosen which one to do first, and unfortunately didn't get that air defense down. So you see slightly lower defenses. This was their base number 26, so not a max base, 67k base, still some of the point defenses and expos to go up. But he's analysed his base perfectly. There was an exposed air defence up the top there by the town hall, so the town hall would be soaking quite heavily. And you see also that skelly trap up the top there. That's to try and stop his heroes getting to that air defence. So you can see that it's quite a tricky little idea, but it just didn't work. Level 16 Jimmy Bob level 18 queen. She's done well. He's got his dragon started really, really well here because that means the king and the queen have continued to stay alive and help clearing some of these trash buildings. So I did like this, even though he has failed on that air defense by trying to get a little bit too tricky. And you can see if this was a max base, it may not have been the same result, but he's gone well with this. It's a fresh hit, so he's managed to take these little differences, and I think that hound's actually going to get a kill on that air defense, so very, very lucky with that. Plenty of dragons in midfield, a couple have split off on the side there. So this is your old drag holo attack, and I still see this as a very viable attack in wars, and definitely worth considering. We still use it in Asiatics. I know they do use it here at Above and Beyond during farm wars, but let's not forget this. It's still one of the good, strong attacks here. So well done, sub. Great analysis of the base, and yeah, the big three. So I guess that's about it for a wrap-up for me. Really interesting war. We've had the previous 3 weeks. We haven't had a scrim at Above and Beyond because we failed to match. So it's a very real problem at the moment with matching. 30 versus 30s are quite hard because there's a lot of people out there searching now with the 35s being cancelled. So yeah, definitely good fun. Great work to the Above leadership team getting it happening. Great fun. Thank you, Mariana, Trench, and War Whales, of course. And yeah, as always, if you've enjoyed, subscribe and clash on.